Hello and welcome to Faithfully Stampin' with Jennifer Helm. I am Jennifer Helm, the Faithful Stamper, and I am an independent demonstrator with Stampin' Up! I have today for you a fun, kind of folksy card. This is a little bit different. This is called a Chirpy Doodle card, and it was inspired by Karen Titus of Stampin' on the Back Porch. Karen has a friend who is a quilter, and I believe she had done some quilt work applique with the general idea of the bird, and it became a card design. So these are the Chirpy Doodle cards, or as my husband now calls them, bird tacos. So, pardon. That is the running joke around my house, is that they're bird tacos. I think they're not bird tacos because your tacos are upside down. But anyway, you decide what you would like to call them. They're super easy to do and a lot of fun to make. So let's get started. I picked my colors from my pack of DSP, which I'll show you in a minute, but my card base is Lost Lagoon. Nothing special here. I used 8.5 by 5.5, scored down the middle. Pardon me, I have this nagging cough that just won't quit. And it gets worse when I talk. I have a layer I'm going to add. This is crushed curry. It is 5.25 by 4. There are no special tricks for this card. There are no crazy measurements. It's all plain and simple, which is a great card to have in your repertoire. All right, so this just gets layered on the front. The next piece we're going to use, I'm gonna make sure I have the right one here, is 5 by 3 3/4. Now it's up to you. You can always skip this layer if you want more room to work with. You could make it smaller if you want more color to show and less surface. So 5 by 3 3/4. And what we're gonna do, you want to pick a piece of designer series paper that you're gonna see both sides of. This is, I believe it's from our Inked Botanicals suite. And this is where my colors come from. You can see the crushed curry and then the Lost Lagoon and Pretty Peacock colors. You're going to see both sides of the paper, so make sure you're aware of that when you're picking, and then I would pick your paper first and then pull your colors out from there. So we're going to take circle punches. You can always use die cuts as well. That'll give you like a perforated edge, or the deckled circles probably would be good for this. I wish I'd thought of that before I was going live on my video. But a circle is what you're going for. So this is 2 3/8 of an inch. And then I need to grab another piece of paper here. And since I want 2 birds and I want one to be large and one small, this is 1 3/4. And our circle punches are online in our online exclusive portion of the website, which you can see there at thefaithfulstamper.stampinup.com. We do have some online exclusively on the web, wonderful projects. You really ought to check them out. And we have new ones coming all the time. Our kits are also featured online if you are more of a kit maker. All right, I can put that piece of paper away. So back to our circles. No complicated way to form our birds here. What you're gonna do, I'm gonna take my paper. I wanna see if there's part that I want featured on the front. I think I want this part to show. So I'm just going to bend it, not quite in half, so that some of the yellow still shows at the bottom. I'm gonna give it a little pinch. You don't have to super heavy crease it. But then I'm gonna open it back up, grab a dimensional, put that up inside, make sure it's gonna be covered by the flap, and press it down, and there's your taco, except we're gonna flip it and make it a bird. And I'm gonna do the same thing here with the small one, not quite in half, dimensional under the flap, and then fold. It gives your bird a little depth, a little dimension, which I like. Now for this design, I am going to have my birds standing on my little box here. So to get started, I'm just gonna lay this out so that I can see where I wanna position things. So my birds need tails and other features, but we're gonna start with the tails. So for your tail, you can stamp, you can punch, you can draw freehand. Here I used a stamp. For my tail, I'm actually using this stamp from my Be My Valentine set, the large heart here. Actually, no, not the large heart, the smaller one, small single heart, we'll say. Not this one. That'd be a huge bird. And then I also am going to use this little trio of hearts. My words tonight are coming from the Charming Sentiment stamp. I'm going to use the congratulations and the babies are a blessing. This just happened to come along at the right time. I have friends that are expecting, and this card is going to be perfect to give them a little congratulatory note. All right, so there's my position for my bird. I'm going to take my little heart stamp up with Lost Lagoon ink. And what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna hold my bird in place for a second. I'm gonna eyeball where I want that tail. Whoop, here we go. It would help if I didn't move it. There we go. And then I'll glue the bird down in a minute. And I'm going to do the same thing for my, let me put that down before I get ink where I don't want it. Things are moving around tonight. Okay. Same thing for my little bird. Whoop, everything is moving around tonight. Here we go. Okay. Now that's done. I think actually before, I'm gonna do something before. I made this harder on myself earlier. Before I do anything else, I am going to glue this down. No fancy adhesives needed for this card. Whatever your favorite adhesive is, liquid glue, tear and tape would do, tape runner. Try not to get it on your work surface like I just did. Gotta love glue, right? All right, so this will just make it a little bit easier for me moving forward. I'm gonna go ahead and stamp my sentiments. You don't need certain measurements for these strips. Work with whatever fits your card, fits the sentiment you're working with. You could even stamp directly on the card, so you don't necessarily need this step. I really cut my paper just to fit my sentiment. So let's see here. There we go, perfect. I'm layering it on Lost Lagoon. Here we go. And then this gets dimensionals on the back. And then this gets put on the card. So my little birds are going to end up standing here. I'm going to put like that. Now, you could pop your birds with dimensionals if you like, or I'm going to put adhesive on the back. I try not to go super close to the edge. It's a little tricky if you're not using liquid glue because it's a little bumpy, but it works. And then you're just going to place your bird body down there. You can do one bird, you could do two birds, you could do three birds, whatever fits on your card in the space that you have. I'll give you some ideas in our sample reveal in just a little bit. It moved around on me a little more than I want, but it's okay. It's a little baby bird. All right, so next up we're gonna do the doodle part. We're gonna draw the legs. So you can use a fine tip marker, you can use a thicker, slightly thicker marker like a blend. These are some of our Stampin' Write markers, and my black marker died, so I'm going with Pretty Peacock. And I'm just going to draw my little bird legs. So let's see. Got a little tiny bird feet here. There we go. Mama's got longer spindly legs. And the great part about this is it doesn't have to be precise. Kind of gonna have Mama kicking her back foot up a little bit here. So they're coming along, but of course they need faces. So we're going to start with the eyes. We'll give them eyes first. So for the eyes, matte dots are really great, little black dots. Or I have these sparkle gems, and I decided, my first card that I did both eyes were the same size, and I'm looking for my take your pick tool here. I decided I'm going to give Mama a slightly larger eye because Mama is a larger bird. And then little baby gets a little baby eye. So you want to kind of position them close to the edge like that. So cute, but boy oh boy do they need those beaks. So, a scrap of black and some scissors. And I'm gonna do, I kind of have to do a pretty small beak for baby here. And then Mama Bird can have a slightly larger beak. What I have found works really well for these beaks is glue dots, either the kind that come on a roll, or if you have kits or paper pumpkin, these little adhesive dots that come with it, I save them because they always give you extra. Boy, I'm flinging everything tonight. These are perfect. So I'm just gonna flip my little bird beaks over, and my take your pick tool will help me put a glue dot on the back of each one of these. And then, because I didn't put glue all the way to the edge, I can stick my little bird beak under the edge and kind of maneuver a little bit. There we go. That's perfect. And then same for Mama Bird. And you can position it, you can move it around a little bit until you're happy with where it is. Little press. And really the card could be done right there. However, I was not a fan of this big chunk of white space up here. So what I decided to do was take some crushed curry ink and the triple heart from that Be My Valentine set. I'm gonna start here, and I'm gonna stamp once and then stamp again. And then I'm just gonna fill in a little bit. There we go. So, and just that simple little heart really helps kind of fill that space, makes it look not so plain. Oh, I almost forgot I have to work on the inside. So, just to finish the inside, I have a piece of basic white that's 5 1/4 by 4. Keeping everything pretty simple here. So my Babies Are Blessing stamp, it's gonna go right there on the inside. Then I'm gonna go back to that triple heart stamp and the crushed curry. I'm gonna accent my corners because I love little accents. And then can't have a naked envelope, so the envelope is gonna get some hearts as well. Just like that. Close the ink pad because at the rate I'm throwing things around, something's going to land in it. And then this piece gets glued right inside my card. And just like that, I have a Chirpy Doodle card. And the cards will look different each time because of the doodles on the leg and because of the paper that you picked, if it has variations in it. So that's kind of a fun thing. And I do have some other samples to show you. This does not have to be a baby card. This could be well suited for a birthday card as well. So there's your baby card. Or here, I changed the orientation. One bird, I punched a piece of Lost Lagoon for the tail. And to go along with the doodle theme, I actually doodled around the corners in coordinating colors to kind of help fill that space. Again, keeping it pretty simple on the inside with some accents and a sentiment. Now, another inspiration by Karen Titus and her husband, Tim. These are largely copied from them. Stampin' Up! Demonstrators have a saying, we copy and share everything. So I did along the same lines. Tim had created a squatty bird, as he called it, kind of a short, stubby little bird. Mine wasn't as tall as I wanted it to be just because of where I stamped things, but you can see how you can have variations in your bird by how long the legs are. I added stamps from the Playing in the Rain stamp set. That gave me the clouds and the flowers and the puddle. And what I did was I took a blender pen and just kind of went around the edges and the little accents to give some dimension to the clouds. I also added some epoxy drops to help fill those white spaces again. And this is just a little thinking of you card. Rainy days are better with you. And also on this card, I free-handed the bird beak and the tail. So you can doodle as much or as little as you want. If you happen to have a bird-related stamp set, such as our sweet songbirds, you can use those bits and pieces to help you build your card. Here I put my chirpy bird on a branch, made the little sign, and I even used the little bird feet that come in the stamp set. There's 2 sets. The tail, it's a little hard to see there, is stamped as well. I added some designer series paper to this one to kind of pull everything together color-wise. And then this one's a birthday card. But here's a baby card along the same lines, just a little bit different. Mama's coming into land with her baby bird. And you've got something to celebrate. So really, really cute. Lots of ideas here. And then last but not least, I hate it when I make cards so cute that I don't want to give them away. But somebody would love this. Here's my little kind of woodland theme card. Mama, slightly thicker legs here. Again, a punch. I could have added a wing. You could use a little kind of half circle here, maybe give it some accent for a wing. But Mama and her baby birds, and I did stamp the grass in the back along the bottom. And there you go. So there are our Chirpy Doodles, or our bird tacos, whatever you'd like to call them. So I hope you enjoyed this very simple but fun kind of whimsical card idea. And thanks to Karen Titus for sharing. If you have not already subscribed to my YouTube channel, I would love to have you here as part of the community. You can click the notification bell and receive a notification whenever a video is posted live here on the page. You can also find me on Facebook as The Faithful Stamper, and I post sale information and other specials and things from Stampin' Up. You are welcome to join me there as well. Thank you so much for watching. Take care and happy crafting.